Good morning. It's the 1st of August. This is your progress check, if you would like, for this month from the active calendar. So we're going to talk through the progress checks in here, and then I'll give you a demo and explanation of August's movement, which is wrist strengthener and wall press. Okay, so you will need a tea towel in a moment, not just yet, or maybe you want to have a rummage around for something similar in a minute. But for now, I'm going to talk you through progress checks. Now, if you have our 6-month PDF version, the progress checks are in there for sure. But the August movement, probably not the same, so it's probably going to be on a different month because we ordered the PDF, the 6-month version, slightly differently. Hello to those of you that have tuned in live. Great to know, a bit of moral support in the background, thank you very much. But this video is really for the archives, and we upload this onto our YouTube channel for YouTube. You don't have to say it like that. So that you can have a look and check in with your calendar and your progress checks. Right, so hello, those that are watching. Thank you for the moral support. Let's get going with this then. So for now, as is detailed in the active calendar, a bit of circulation boosting to get us going. There it is, right there. So as with all of our movement snacks, or if you are planning to move a bit more throughout your day, a circulation booster is such a great and non-complex thing to do to increase additional movement minutes in your day. So here's the stand prompts first, and then I'll give you the sit prompts. External support close to hand, hip width at feet, a little bit more length from the centerpiece here. Just get those supporting parts ready to cope with the moving parts. And here we go. It's going to take a couple of minutes here in preparation for the progress checks and then the new move from August. So this is the standing option here, hand on support, or you may prefer it in front. As and when you feel comfortable and confident with that, you might want to put in a bit of arm march as well. You might want to pause the feet and focus on that separately, or you might be here, of course. So keep that ticking over. In sit, a couple of options as I disappear out of shot, into active sitting, straight into the upper limb movements here, if you would like. March, march, march. If you're on your legs at some point today, have a hip walk forward. And we talk a lot about skilling up. By this we mean we can prepare and improve and enhance movement without that balance challenge. So if you've decided to sit today for whatever reason, we can still, if you're on your legs at some point, prepare feet and legs ready for standing activity. So it might look like this, but predominantly the Circ Boost is that, to boost the circulation, give us a light lift through the heart rate. And if nothing else in your day, especially at the minute if you're watching the Olympics, I know not everyone does, but if you're sat or if you're inactive in the same positions for a long period of time, a little bit of active sit, put in a bit of Circ Boost in the arms and the legs, and it all serves to benefit your moving parts, your supporting parts, and general health, shall we say. Okie doke, so there is the Circ Boost. It's detailed on the very first page of the active calendar. I'm going to move us into progress checks now, folks. Here they are, and you may have been keeping your scores down the side here. I'm going to work through them in the same order that they appear in the calendar. And the first one is shoulder mobility. And you will see you have 4 descriptors here. And the aim is to feel your way through this range of motion and then log yourself against the descriptors. The descriptors are, I can touch my ear, I can touch the back of my head, I can touch the base of my neck, I can touch the top of my shoulder blade. So can you see each of those descriptors describe a slightly larger range of motion? Have a sit down. You can do it in stand, but ideally have a sit, or adopt the same position that you have done on previous progress checks. Active sit position. You might want to put in a couple of preparatory shoulder rolls just to prepare. The main thing here is when we move into position, trying to keep the head still so that we're moving the shoulder, the arm around the head, not the head accommodating the arm. Here we go. So pick one side, any side first. We're going to do both sides, or aim to do both sides if best for you. So working, keeping the hand close to the body here. Can you get to the ear? Can you get to the back of the head? Can you get to the base of the neck? Can you get to the top of the shoulder blade? Have a clock. Have a note. Have a scratch at your resting point, and then come to your progress check. And when you get to August, yeah, find August there, and then you put your number 1, 2, 3, or 4, and you might want to prefix that with an L or an R, left and right, of course. Other side, if that's comfortable for you. So here we go again. Ear, back of head, base of neck, top of shoulder blade. Whatever point you can comfortably get to without contorting your trunk or your head. That's really what this is about. And it's better to go for perhaps a lesser number on a supported posture than a contorted posture on a bigger number. Hope that makes sense. So we're purely looking at shoulder range of motion. Okay, next one is back of thigh. We do this one in the 4 PMs every single day. Again, for this one you've got 5 descriptors. I won't read them all out. I'm back to front. They're all along here, and they range from I can reach my knee to I can reach beyond my toes, and you'll see that here in the 1 to 5 scale. And as I've just said with the shoulders, the aim here is to achieve these ranges of motion through optimum movement. So in sit, active sit position rather than flexed and bent in the middle. Take the leg out to a comfortable straight leg position, knees slightly off the lock. Have an inhale and a lift of the chest a little bit more, and then have a creep down. You might want to just do a practice run first. Have a practice run, slowly in, slowly out, and just be mindful that those landmarks I mentioned, the hip, the knee, the foot's relaxed, the chest and the head remain lifted, and it hinges here. And then have an ease and a squeeze or a walk down. How far can you comfortably get? Have an extra scratch to mark that off. Slowly come out, look at the descriptor and go, where did I get to? Knee, top of shin, mid shin, toes, beyond toes. And you will it's not uncommon to find that you have better range of motion on one side than the other, and you're probably aware of that, and you'll probably know the reasons why for that. No, I'm not suggesting you are going to cheat, but cheats would be to turn and rotate and kind of try and contort the body. I'm going to stick with that word. I'm sure there's others. Optimum ranges of motion and alignment, shall we say, and we're aiming for easing down, keeping the chest and the head lifted. How low can you go? How low can you comfortably go? And this is all about reaching confidently and more easily down to lower levels. So that's your back of thigh stretch. Right. Next one is a balance one. So this is, if you're on your feet at any point in the day, this one might be for you. If you're new into these check-ins and you haven't seen this before, may I suggest you have a watch first Then decide if it's one you want to have a check of, and you will definitely need some external support close to hand. Definitely check that your floor area is clear and that you've got the right footwear. This is a 4-point balance progress check, and it essentially looks at the positions of the feet in standing, and they basically do that. They're side by side, one slightly forward, one in front of the other, and then one. And I think it goes without saying, in daily life we're pretty much interchange all of those base of support positions through the day. So we're just going to check in with each one and see how far we can progress. So the start position for this is feet comfortably together. So standing with support to the side. Have a glance down, and are you confident and comfortable to just nudge those feet closer together, comfortably so. At any point, if you feel like your balance is really challenged, step out, and that's the end of the progress check. So you're seeing how far you can confidently go, and at that stop point, that's the marker to build and progress next time. So the start position, let's take you through the first one. Point 1 is here. So provided you feel confident now to stand up taller and perhaps hover these fingertips here, aiming for a slow, a 10-second count in your head. So 1, 2, 3, up to 10. And if you're comfortable to get to 10, step out of it, and you're 10 seconds in position 1. Once you've achieved 10 seconds on each of these positions, progress to the next one. If you didn't achieve 10 seconds on that one, that's the end of this progress check. And you just mark it here on your marker there. So it would be August, position 1, 6 seconds, 7 seconds, something like that. So we're not moving on to the next position until you've mastered the one before for 10 seconds. If you didn't get to 10 seconds confidently, here's position number 2. Hand on external support. This time, bring the feet, edge them closer together, and then with the outside leg furthest from the support, have a step slightly in front so you're there. Can you see my foot position here? Let me turn slightly sideways as well so you can also see here. So I'm stepping from here to here, slightly offset. Weight is across both feet equally. That's significant. So have a little double check that both knees are a little bit bent and you feel weight is even. From there, if you feel confident to do so, fingertips away, and there is the 10-second count again, or with a stopwatch to be more accurate. At any time, if you feel a bit of a wobble, which is normal, step out with the feet, put the hand down. So react to the challenge as you need to, step out, and coming back to a wider base of support will regain that balanced position. So there you go, there's position number 2, anything between 1 and 10 seconds, mark it off on the progress check chart. If you achieve 10 seconds, moving on now to position number 3, which is this one. So I'll show you two profiles. Here's the front profile, sideways onto support, use this hand for support, or the other hand, of course, it depends which is the most reliable one for you. Outside leg, there, have a glance, watch what's going on, leave a gap between the toe and the heel, and then step through. There's the position. Tandem position. Let me turn sideways so you can see. There. So I watch it into position. Up tall, get the supporting parts working for you. Weight is even across both legs. Then, if you feel confident, there's the fingertip away, and then the 10-second count starts. Stopwatch or in your head or someone else doing it for you. As and when you feel ready, step out to regain balance. Anything between 1 and 10 seconds, mark it off on the chart. If you're not achieving 10 seconds confidently in any of these positions, That's it, end of progress check. Don't move on to the next position. The fourth position and final position, position 4, is the single leg stand. Now for this one, suggesting that you use the inside leg for standing on, okay? Outside leg, we're going to prepare, take a little toe position to the end and then just pick it off here, little bend in this leg here. This is going to help use the muscles of the thighs. Fingertips off, go for the balance. If you feel the wobble, put the foot down, put the hand down. Try to get the feet reacting. Try to, if you keep this foot as low as you can there, so if you feel off steady, there's the foot down, there's the foot down. And it's these balance reactions that we're trying to improve over time. If you're as steady as a rock and you're up there for your 10 seconds, that's it, end of progress check. And we're just progress checking every month to ensure that we're maintaining that level of balance. There you go. So there is your 4-point balance check. Okie dokie. The last one is the chair rise check. And this will require a stopwatch or someone looking at a second hand. 30 seconds for this one. 30 seconds. My watch battery is gone. So I'm gonna do a manual count, but it's not going to be absolutely accurate. So you might want to do this one again when you have got a stopwatch. But I'll try and do my 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi to count per second. But for accuracy, folks, use a stopwatch. Here we go then. So we need a chair for this one, goes without saying. And ideally, this chair is knee height. If you've done progress checks before, use the same chair so that you have that level of reliability on the progress check, because the height of the chair will greatly affect how easy it is to stand. So here we go. Have a look first. There's a couple of options here if you would like. So we're using a 30-second count. Depending where you are in your sit to stand ability and confidence at the moment, the options are the full stand to sit. So just have a watch at the minute. So heels back and down into the floor, hip hinge, push up confidently to stand, a little bit of balance check at the top end if you need, and then down to sit. If you're confident to sit to stand like so, this is the movement to use for your 30-second count. And it may be that after 2 or 3, your legs start to feel tired. So 2 or 3 in that 30 seconds is the result of your progress check. If you're not quite ready for that full sit to stand and you're still needing some external support to assist with that, go for the jockey lift here, go for the hover. So as soon as the buttocks come from the chair, then you're counting jockey lifts, for example. Okay, so should we give it a go on my manual count, or get your stopwatch to hand and be more accurate with your measure? So let's try a chair rise progress check, 30 seconds. Choose your option, full sit to stand or jockey lift. Are we ready? I'm going to do the manual count. I'm not going to do it out loud because that'd be very annoying. 3, 2, 1, go. 1. Mississippi. 4. We're halfway, I think, by my count. Keep going on your option. Last 10 seconds. And time. 30 seconds. That was a manual count. Not very accurate, so you might want to repeat that on a stopwatch. However many times you jockey lifted it or did a sit to stand. Here you go. Find August. find August, and put your number in there. That's it. Progress checks are done, yes. So we have a shoulder mobility progress check, hip mobility progress check, a balance progress check, and a leg strength progress check. And we do these every single month on the first of the month. Without further ado, folks, I'm just going to take you through the key points of August's movement, which is, you've got two options. You've got a wrist strengthener and a wall press here. And the idea is, for this month, focus on this movement here. So we've got a wrist strengthener required for daily life and activities, grip and grasp, holding objects reliably. That also serves to progress us to the wall press, supporting our own body weight for either mobilising in bed, pushing up from the floor, pushing up from the bath. So pick your amount, 1, 3 or 5 of these, and maybe crowbar them into your day if you know that you want to work on some wrist strengthening and work on your pushing activities. So wrist strengthener, you'll need something like a tea towel. It doesn't have to be this very fashionable Make Movement Your Mission one. Still available in the LLT shop, by the way. I should get myself on QVC. Fold it in half. It might be comfortable to make this kind of fatter rather than really skinny. So it should feel comfortable in your hands. Sit or stand, of course. I'm going to have a bit closer so you can see. Shoulders are relaxed, elbows are tucked in, and I'm kind of just in front of the tummy there. And can you see that my fingers are comfortably stacked? Again, they're not contorted or doing strange start positions. Start in a comfortable position for you, and it might be that this perfect alignment type idea isn't actually appropriate for you. So your most even and symmetrical start point. Hands around the tea towel, and then just start with a squeeze and release. And when you squeeze and release, keep it isolated to the hand and the grip. You'll feel the forearm muscles working as well. Try not to involve the shoulders. Try not for anything else to move if that's at all possible. There's the squeeze and release. And the release is as important as the on and the off. Maintain your normal comfortable breathing throughout. Now once you've got to grips with this grip and grasp, squeeze and release. Just a couple of seconds, just up to 5 seconds, 3 or 5 seconds on that squeeze. If you're comfortable with that, go for the squeeze and then go for the twist, if you like, and return. And can you see that on the twist, again, I'm aiming to keep these hands and these fingers fairly aligned. And the wrist, if I show you from this angle, the wrists are coming together. So I've got firm wrists. I'm not looking to contort or bend or fold the wrists. Keeping them firm, and can you see my elbows are coming into this as well? So I'm bringing everything together here. Release and turn. So that's a progression. Squeeze, turn, and release. You might want to change the hands, upper and lower hand. There's a third progression if you would like. And give yourself a little bit of a gap between here. Can you see I've got a little bit of a squishy bit in between my hands. Go for the squeeze, go for the turn, and then go for the pull away. Can you see? I can see the little bit of a gap in between there, and release. And you might want a complete release after that one. That third progression, you're going to bring in lots of other activity through the arms and the shoulders. So do make sure you have a release, and give your hands a stretch this way as well. Give them an expand after the grip squeeze. Let me show you that one again. So here's your 3 options. We can go squeeze, release. We can go squeeze and turn, release. Or we can go squeeze, turn and pull away, release. 1 time, 3 times, 5 times. Put in a little bit of shoulder raise in between, straighten the arms and give the fingers a stretch after each one. Crowbar that into your day this month. This will improve your grip strength. The second movement is the wall press. Now, having done some wrist strengthener. You might want to do both of these throughout August, or one or the other, which one is most appropriate for you. So the wall press involves a wall, shall we say. I've got one here I prepared earlier. And make sure it's a fixed firm wall, of course, and not a false wall, so ideally solid. And you can rehearse now your body position. Now this is also about us supporting our postures, building strength in postures and shoulders and pushing muscles. Helps with coordination as well, and balance also. Here's my wall, hand is coming in front, comfortably shoulder height, like so. And if I show you this way on what's going to happen, I'm going to come towards the wall, and you can see my elbows kind of come out but stay fairly close. So the arms are going to be doing that type of position. So you might want to do a couple of rehearsals on that before you go, and then give it a whirl. There. Even across both feet. Keep the body like a plank. I'm not going to pike or thrust. I'm going to bring myself forwards and back. If you've never done this before, what you might want to do is take a forward step, and that way you can control. So you can control how much resistance you want those arms to push. So there, my legs doing some of the work as well. Can you see with my legs here, my arms are going to be doing most of the work. Do check that you're comfortable, take a little bend to begin with, and as you feel more confident and you feel stronger, you can move a little bit closer to that wall position there. Can you see I'm aiming for a straight body position? So one leg in front can help and assist with that. There's some other ways you can do this, folks. You can do it on lower surfaces, for example, so we can also rehearse it here. There's the push. You might be sat at a chair. Oh, crikey, I've got a table in front of me here, so you can rehearse it there with your hands on tables. So that's your August moves. Wrist strengthener, wall press. These are, I was going to say vital. We need these movements. We need, if you're gripping, grasping in your day, we want to keep wrist strength. If you want to mobilise comfortably in bed at night, we need to push and manoeuvre our bodies in bed. If we ever need to get ourselves up from the floor, we need to be able to push our bodies up to do that, and we need wrists to be able to support that position. So if you've got a fixed firm support in your house, why not crowbar in? Bit of wall pressing, bit of table pressing, and a bit of tea towel squeezing. That's it. That's your August active calendar move and progress check. If do check in with us on the Make Movement Your Mission page. If you have the inclination to find us on Facebook, let us know how you got on with your progress checks. Thank you very much, and thank you to those of you that have joined to say hello for this extra movement stack. Bye for now, folks.